Hello and welcome to the Wu Wei Wisdom Tao Dialogues. Drawing from my practice as a Daoist monk and teacher, we can explore the Wu Wei balance and harmony in all areas of life. In this episode of the Tao Dialogues, we'll talk about the subject of inherent worth, guiding our inner child to look beyond the familiar beliefs of value and worth. Have you ever believed that your worth must be earned, proven, or validated by others? Do you often find yourself chasing approval, striving to be good enough, only to end up exhausted and unfulfilled? Do you sometimes hear the voice of your inner child whispering, "Will I ever be enough, just as I am?" So we'll explore these heartfelt questions in today's Tao Dialogues episode, offering a gentle path back to the truth of who we really are. The Tao teaches us that just like rivers flow and mountains stand tall, without needing permission and applause, we too are worthy of our existence. There is nothing we must do to earn worth, no approval we must gain, no role we must play, and yet many of us walk through life carrying the burden of proving, performing, and perfecting. We adopt these behaviors not out of truth, but out of gaining protection, favorable responses, and through childhood experiences, unmet needs, and misunderstanding emotions shaped by false beliefs. Our inner child often believes its worth is conditional. It learned early on that praise brought love, that approval meant safety, that achievements secured acceptance. So it learned to strive to win gold stars and to gain approval, always fearing that without them we would be forgotten, or worse still, rejected. But the Tao and the wisdom of Wu Wei offers us much more of a nurturing truth. We are already complete. We are already one. We are reminded of this in the Tao Te Ching, which gently says, "He who knows he has enough is wealthy." Not in possessions or praise, but in our spirit and peace. Our sage knows that everything necessary already exists within us, that we are not lacking, wanting, or needy. When we accept that our true wealth lies in understanding our intrinsic worth and honoring our sacred spiritual essence, Shen, the world changes. Let us speak to our inner child. Let's get down to its level and speak to it with truth and compassion. The truth is, you are already valuable, simply because you exist. Nothing has to be done. You just have to smile. Your worth and value are your birthright. This statement may initially be met with disbelief by our inner child, because years of conditioning resist such clarity and honesty. It may even create feelings of being empty or unsafe to hear such words. But the truth always returns us back to home. As we repeat this to our inner child, we do it with sincerity, with truth, with a strong feeling of love and patience. And slowly and gently, it begins to listen. And over time, it will start to trust. And then eventually, it will start to believe. Just imagine telling a newborn that they must earn their right to be loved, that they must prove their worth before being embraced. This is absurd. We would never do that to a newborn. We just love them because they're a newborn, because they have innate, intrinsic worth and value. And yet, we don't do that to us. We do the opposite. And the Tao reminds us that nothing in nature, nothing tries to be worthy. It simply is. Trees do not rush to grow taller than other trees so they can gain some value or validation. The stars do not burn brighter for us to applaud them. And we too are part of this divine unfolding. Remember, we are part of nature. We are not apart from it. In the I Ching, hexagram 2, Quan, the receptive, says this: quiet truth is found in openness, softness, and trust. It teaches us that our most profound wisdom is not expressed through striving, through receiving praise to be the highest of everybody else, to be above. We receive it through allowing, through softness, through yielding, through being humble. And being humble does not mean being a doormat. It means being soft. Soft to the power of three: our truth, honesty, and integrity. And then slowly, our inner child learns that its true strength is not in resistance, but in release, in alignment, not in performance, but in acceptance, acceptance of oneness, acceptance of the truth that it is worthy. And so we begin to move away from the need to prove. We begin to reclaim our authenticity, step by step. We step off the exhausting treadmill of seeking external validation, praise, assurance, acknowledgement, and we return home. We return home to stillness, to love, to peace, guided by truth, honesty, and integrity. This truly is the power of three that connects us to our Shen spirituality. And then we can realize our value can neither be increased by praise or can it be diminished by criticism. Because it's like the moon reflecting the sun. Our inner light is constant, even if sometimes hidden behind passing clouds. This shift does not require a massive change or an overnight breakthrough. It begins in the smallest of ways. Each time we wake and say, I am valuable, simply because I am. You make a shift. Each time we choose balance over perfection, truth over pleasing, we take a step to reclaim ourselves. Each time we guide our inner child gently back to the center of truth and love, we create space for healing through flow and authenticity. The reconnection to inherent worth is not about giving up on your aspirations or ambitions. It's about grounding our dreams in authenticity rather than desperation. When we stop striving to be loved, acknowledged, and validated, our actions become expressions of peace and joy rather than cries for attention and reassurance. We begin to create, speak, share and serve, not to gain value, but to share our beauty, the love already within us. Affirming inherent worth is an act of true courage. Standing in your integrity goes against everything the world has told us, that we must compete, compare, achieve, succeed. But the Tao shows us a quieter, truer way. It whispers, return. Return to simplicity. Return to truth. And return to your spiritual essence. In practical terms, this means that we must begin each day with self-honesty. We must be true to ourselves. We must look at our motivations and ask, am I doing this to prove I'm enough? Or because I am already enough? This difference may seem subtle, but it's life-changing. One path leads to red light feelings such as anxiety and fear, and the other to alignment and wu-wei flow. We must also create a sacred space for our inner child to speak, and to speak not from fear or demand, but from a gentle voice of curiosity. Why? Why do I believe I must earn love? And this begins the unraveling of years of programming. This small step leads towards healing and authenticity. And in this quiet Shen sanctuary, we can hold our inner child closely. And we can say to ourselves, I am valuable simply because I am. My worth is my birthright. I do not need to prove anything to anyone. I just need to accept my own worth. And I honor the golden spiritual light within. And this light will never dim. I choose to live from truth, not from fear. And take a moment, these words are not empty words. If you don't believe them, don't say them. Because once you believe that they are the truth, they become seeds. Each time you repeat them with sincerity, truth, honesty, they take root. They take root in the truth of your inner knowing, your Shen spirituality, and over time, our inner child begins to trust you. You become as one, and a new story emerges, and we begin to make different choices. We choose boundaries over burnout. We choose creativity over compliance. We choose honesty over people-pleasing. We choose presence over performance. And slowly, we begin to see ourselves, not through the eyes of CCJ, criticism, comparison, or being judgmental, but through the eyes of the Tao. And through those eyes, we are never lacking. We are part of the whole. We are part of the oneness. As essential as sunlight, as worthy as air. So let's take one small step forward now, just in your mind. Break through to your truth, and together we can walk this Tao path with gentle clarity and a renewed perception. And when we start speaking from the truth, every morning, when we say, I am worthy, I am whole, I am enough, then throughout the day, we listen for our inner child's voice. We gently bring it on board. We hold its hand. We repeat quietly with love and compassion, you are safe. You do not need to prove. You are love. We are one. And finally, we rest each evening in gratitude, not for what we did, but for who we are. Let us teach our inner child that does not need to chase love. You do not need love. You create love. Does not need to seek approval. It is already approved. It is already beautiful. As it is worthy. And try this practice. Whisper these affirmations. Write them out. Celebrate your worth in the quiet spaces where no one else sees. And this is your self-talk. Not because you think it may help, because you believe it and you know it will help. This is the true path of our Shen spirituality, the energy of who we are. When we live in alignment, honoring our most profound truth, we can stand tall and we can look in a mirror and we can say with truth, I am worthy simply because I exist. It is my birthright. My value is not defined by what I do, but by who I am. I choose to release the need to prove myself. I am the light. I am the light that I've always been seeking in others. And above all, I honor the voice of my inner child. I honor its voice with truth and compassion. I am not what other people think of me. I trust. I love. I am worthy. If this teaching has resonated with you, please like it and share it and post a comment. We sincerely value your support and your voice. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, podcasts, or the Substack blog for more free content that nurtures your true spirit. And above all, thank you for sharing this journey with me. And I look forward to seeing you on the next exciting edition of the Tao Dialogues. And until then, Yi Dao, Qi Dao.